Book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand. Bracket the Yahweh, bracket the Yahweh Shai, bracket the Yahweh, bracket the Yahweh Shai, bracket the Yahweh, bracket the Yahweh Shai, bracket the Yahweh, bracket the Yahweh Shai. Call Haloyimla, Allahayanawa, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elect elders of Israel that rule well. Strong salutation to you brothers out there that labor in sound doctrine and sincerity. Yahweh Shemel Shai Brakathim to the whole for elect. And peace, blessed salutation to the house of David, the elect. Alright, this is an exhortation. Alright, this is another exhortation. Another exhortation epistles. Another exhortation epistle. Alright, to continue in the faith, man. Alright, to stay strong, man. Alright, the name of this exhortation is stand in the holy place, man. Alright. The name of this exhortation is to stand in the holy place. Alright, I'm going to read what I just read again. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. And that's what you're seeing there right now. You're seeing this word being preached out to all the earth, man. Alright, for the sealing of the elect, the sealing of the 144,000. Alright, it says, and then the end shall come. Right? And we're going to bring about the end. I'm finna read it. It says, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy. Now, what is that abomination? What is that talking about? Alright, let's go to Daniel. Alright. We must understand this to grasp this thing, man. Alright, this is Daniel. It's the book of Daniel chapter. It's the book of Daniel chapter 9 and verse 24. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon our holy city to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vengeance and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. Alright? We're coming into that time. Alright? So it says, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore it and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah the Prince shall be 7 weeks. And 62 weeks the street shall be built again, and the wall even in troublous times. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, and be not for himself. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary. Okay? And the end thereof shall be with a flood. You see that the scripture say the enemy shall come in like a flood. This is to speak about right now. The time that we're coming in right now, man. It says until the end of the war. It says until the end of the war desolations are determined. Right? And the scripture say in Revelation 12, the dragon shall make war with the remnant of her seed, man. Alright, it says, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. Alright? And in the midst of the week, he shall cause, and this we in that week right now. Alright, if you did not know, we in that week right now. It says, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. Alright? And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate, even unto the consumption. Right? Even to the consumption. What is the consumption? Let's go to Jeremiah. Now, Salaki, let's go to Isaiah. I'm tripping. Go to Isaiah. Alright, what is the consumption? Even unto the consumption. It's talking about the day of the Lord, man. Alright? Because remember, Yahweh Shai is going to come back. He's coming back to, he's coming back to fully restore the house of David. That's what he's coming back to rule in the throne of David and restore the house of David. You see? So the house of David is getting risen up, but Esau is going to come in like a flood, and he's going to persecute this ministry. All right, that's why Yahushua said, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation. Because remember, this all about the truth. This truth is being preached to all the world for a witness, so the elect can get sealed. And after that, there ain't going to be no other reason for the prophets to be prophesying and teaching no more. All right? So look at Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but they shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. Right now it says the consumption decreed. And now the word decree, something decreed means something that's been said aforetime. When something like if I say a decree, like I give somebody a decree, go out and tell such and such to go do this and do that, or I give a decree for the men to do such and such and such and such. All right, and they do it. That was already said some aforetime. So pretty much a decree, it says the consumption decree. Now we won't go into this word consumption. It says the consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. For the Lord, Yahweh, power of hosts shall make a consumption even determined in the midst of all the land. Now when you go into the word consumption, it's talking about the going to the blue letter. It's talking about the judgment.
Strong's H 3617. Kala.
All right. So that's the transliterated word from consumption. It's kala, and it means what? Completion, termination, full end, complete destruction, consumption, annihilation. Completion, completely all together, complete destruction, consumption, annihilation. So it's talking about destruction. The destruction that was decreed aforetime. So meaning Yahweh Shema Shai, like the Lord said, the Lord shall come with his chariots like a fire as a whirlwind to rebuke the people. Roughly, paraphrasing, Isaiah 6. All right, well that's the consumption. All right, a remnant shall return. Let's read it again. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 21. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed. So a remnant going to return. The consumption decreed, meaning judgment. All right, the destruction, or the 2/3. All right. Because when we go into the consumption is decreed. All right. And we're going to look at this word decreed too as well. All right, decree.
Strong's H 2782. Chavetz.
All right, karetz. All right, that's the Hebrew transliterated word for, in this context, in Isaiah 10:22, for decree, it's karetz. That's the transliterated word. It says to cut, sharpen, decide, decree, determine, maim, move, mutilate, cut, like how said, he shall sever the wicked from the just. Zechariah 13 chapter say he shall 2/3 shall be cut off. All right, so this is what it's talking about. Isaiah 10:21, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The elect is going to return, right? The elect is going to get saved, the 1/3, right? It says, the consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. So although Israel be the sand of the sea, a remnant is going to return. So what's going to happen to the rest of them? the consumption decreed, man. I mean, they're going to get cut off. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to be annihilated, man. That's what this is going into. This is what the word is karat, which means to cut, it means to sever, to cut, mutilate. It says to properly, to point sharply, to wound, bestir, self, decide, decree, determine, main, move. Right? Like how Shah said in one of his parables, he said the angel shall come and sever the wicked from the just. All right? So when we jump back, so this is what Daniel spoke about. Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. In the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even unto the consumption. Right? So Esau, there's not going to, the house of David, because the house of David is getting risen up. All right? And we're offering up, the house of David is a temple. All right? This is the temple of the Lord. So the temple is getting risen up again. The stone, Yahweh, she fed cornerstone. The brothers laying in the stone, and we offering up these spiritual sacrifices. Let's get that, man. All right, which is your reasonable service. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. Okay? Which is your reasonable service. So we offering up, these sacrifices, man. All right? In a minute. Salaki. All right, so we offering up these sacrifices. Let me read this again. Romans 12:1. I beseech ye therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. Okay, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove that is good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. Right, make it for proof of our ministry. You see? And that's it on that. But that's what this was just going, the sacrifice. Daniel 9:27. He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. In the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice to obation to cease. The sacrifice he's gonna cause to cease is the brothers doing the work, laboring in the ministry. All right, prophesying, standing in the holy place. All right, speaking. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High. Speaking these oracles, man. All right. So this is what the Esau is gonna do. This is what Yahweh speaking about in Matthew 24:15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet. All right, that's talking about the persecution of the saints, the persecution of the prophets, the persecution of the ministry. All right, it says, and for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate. Right, because brothers are going to be on the go. Brothers are going to get martyred. Some brothers are going to be on the go. Some brothers are going to get that spiritual power. All right, it's going to be a lot of things going on, even unto the consumption. Right, so it's going to be a lot. Judgment going to be going out heavy, man, until Yahweh Shah reigneth. Like what the scriptures say, shall the Lord reign. Let me get that, man. Thinking of it. I think it's in Joel, if I'm not mistaken. Salaki, Lord shall reign. Thinking of it, man, it just slipped me. Let me see, Isaiah, let me see, is this it? I'm thinking Isaiah 24 and 23. Then the moon shall be confounded and the sun ashamed when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and Jerusalem and before his ancient glories. Oh, that's Daniel 9:27. He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. In the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease, and the overspread abominations he shall make it desolate, even unto the consumption. Right? Isaiah 24 and 23. Then the moon shall be confounded and the sun ashamed when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem and before his ancient glories. All right, that's when the Lord come back. He's going to put down these other nations and establish the kingdom. So it says until the consumption. Because when the Lord come back, that's going to bring that great destruction, that judgment. All right, it says in that the term shall be poured out upon the desolate. All right. So let me go back to Matthew 24. You got to get the proper understanding of why is Yahushua saying these things. All right, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. All right. Whoso readeth, let him understand. All right. Let's go to 1 Peter. First Peter. Let's go to 1 Peter, man. I'm taking too long to get it on my phone. All right. Stand in the holy place. This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man minister, let him do as the ability of which the Most High giveth. The Most High in all things may be glorified through Yahushua Mashiach, to whom we praise and mean forever and ever. Amen. To what? And we want to focus on the oracles of the Most High. So oracles of the Most High deals with prophecy. All right. An oracle, another word for an oracle, for a temple, because this is a temple we do sacrifices. This is that third temple. Another word for oracle is holiest of the holy. All right. The most holy place in the temple was called the oracle. That's where the Ark of the Covenant dwelt there. All right. Another word for oracle is prophecy, because the Most High Yahushua, he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Oracle, we want to say the word oracle is divine utterance, means to say something before. Okay. So stand in the holy place means what? Be occupied in prophecy, and this is what this whole thing is about. When you stand in the holy place, you're being occupied in prophecy. You're being focused on Yahweh Shema Shah. Because if you're occupied in prophecy, you're going to be constantly thinking about the things to come. All right? And you're going to be constantly thinking about, damn, I got to get right. I got to show the Lord. I got to do this. I got to do that. Because you're going to be constantly, in that sober mentality, like, the prophecy's on the way. You're going to have that faith. You're going to believe. All right? And this is what it's all about. We stand in the holy place. Now, let's get a parable. All right, I kind of went into this when I was out there on the highways and byways. I just want to make this an exhortation, man, for brothers to stand in the holy place. Standing in the holy place means to be occupied in prophecy. All right, to be occupied in prophecy, man, and occupied in prophecy, meditating on Yahweh Shema Shah. Sirach chapter 39, verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in meditation thereof, right? You focus on what? Meditating on how to serve the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, keep his commandments, right? Will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies, man. Because they go hand in hand. Because if you think about the prophecies, you have to think, boy, I got to serve the Lord. Because if you think about the prophecies, if you're not serving the Lord, then something ain't adding up. Because you should fear, because the prophecy is massive judgment and destruction coming. So why would you not want to give your mind over to the law of the Most High and have it occupied in the meditation thereof? You should be focused on the commandments, Focus on the commandments and serving the Lord in newness of spirit. Let's get that. Serving the Lord in newness of spirit and keeping the faith. All right, occupied in prophecy. This is Romans chapter 7, verse 6. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of spirit and not in the oldness of the letter. Right. So you serving the Lord in newness of spirit, man. You know, because right now we know we can't keep all the law. No matter how hard you try, you know you won't be blameless, man. We all deserve to die. If we're going by the law, we all deserve to be put to death. You see? So we must serve the Lord in newness of spirit, man. Meaning in sincerity. All right? We're going through that straight gate. Going through that door, which is Yahweh Shah. Believing in Yahweh Shah. Having faith in Yahweh Shah. All right? Romans 7:6. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of spirit. And this is what you need to be occupied by. Sirach 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof. What is it talking about? Well, Romans 7:6. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held. I mean, delivered from the law meaning that bondage of the law. All right? Where, you know, you had to keep really, and they had to keep the law perfect. You know? If you were so much to slip up, you would get put to death. Straight up. I'm going to put it like this. They had, in the Old Testament, under the Old Covenant, you had to serve, like it says, in the oldness of the letter. Like how it was written, man. If you weren't doing it to a T how it was written, you were finished. You was out of there, man. You see, that's the bondage of the law. All right? But think about it, how can you do that? You know, because the law is perfect. The law is from the heavens of the Most High. So you got to think about, shit, how can one do that? I'm in this corruptible flesh. The law is spiritual. I'm in this fleshly body. You know? So it's parts of me that want to go off. You know, the flesh doesn't forget the spirit, the spirit doesn't forget the flesh. So how can I actually keep this law, man? That's the bondage of the law. It condemns you, man. Or because it condemns you it condemns you to a way where you sin. All right, and the scriptures say the wages of sin is death. So you might commit a sin that's punishable by death, and you put to death on the spot. Or, you know, although you might be sinning, and that's why they do they offer up their sacrifice, their oblations for for sins, that do atonements. But none of those sacrifices really took their sins away. Why? Because they still died. The reason why you die is because of sin. You see, it's a lot. The reason why you die is because of sin. So that's really we talking about. That's really the ultimate form of the bondage of the law. All right, that death, because sin is the breaking of the law. What proves that you broke the law? You being put to death. All right, you being put to death, man. All right, or like Yahweh Shah, he died for the nation of Israel. That's that's a different. That's something different. That's something one and the same, but it's something different. He still died because of sins, but for somebody else's sins. All right, the reason why people died for sins, man. So that's the bondage of the law, because one in this fleshly body, one cannot keep the law. The law is perfect, but we're not. We're imperfect, and we can't keep it how it's written to a T. And so when we go off, we sin, and we got to offer up a sacrifice and this, but somewhere down the line we still die. That's the bondage of the law, man. So Romans 7. So you can't be, if you're trying to justify yourself based off of the law, you're gonna be finished. You're gonna be out of there, man. That's why we need Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah was blameless, man. All right. He took on the sins of Israel. All right, for breaking the first covenant of the law. All right, died, was in the grave for 3 days. Was risen. The Most High raised him up incorruptible, subduing death, being a continual sacrifice. Right? So what? He subdued death. He subdued sin, man. All right? He didn't, no offense in the law whatsoever. Perfect. Because Yahweh he is the law, man. He is the word. You see? So Romans 7:6. But now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, that we should serve in newness of spirit. So now we can serve in newness of spirit, man, through Yahweh, because we know when Yahweh comes back, he's gonna give us the victory. Lord willing, we that elect, that same victory he got, we gonna get. All right. So the law is gonna be placed within us. So we're gonna be one with the law by the Most High. You see, we're gonna be one with the Most High Yahweh, subduing death. You see. It says in newness of spirit, because this is gonna be the new second covenant. The newness of spirit is gonna be in us. We're gonna be the law. It's gonna be in our. The Lord said we'll give you a new spirit, a new heart, a new mind. All right. And it says, and not in the ordinance of the letter. Right in the ordinance of the letter, you had to serve it because it was the 10 Commandments that Moses received, the tablets. But the tablets, that's all they're gonna be put within us. You see, all that stuff was a shadow for a thing to come. We're not gonna have to look on the tablets or on the paper. No, that's all that's gonna be within us. We're gonna be fully connected through the spirit of Yahweh Shah, man. All right, so this is what you gotta be focused on, because it's all about the spirit, man. All right, so I know you're off topic, but this is part of standing in the holy place. All right, this is Sirach chapter 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law, the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient. Okay. All right, and what David said, my meditation shall be like this is Psalms chapter 104 verse 34. My meditation of him shall be sweet. I will be glad in the Lord, man. You see? It says we'll seek out, it says occupy in the meditation thereof. And it says we'll seek out wisdom of all the ancient, man. All right. Psalms 49:3. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. Psalms 1:2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night, man. So that's plain. And it says, Sirach 39, it says, and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep his sayings of renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. See, he will seek out the secrets of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables. He shall serve among great men and appear before princes. He will travel through strange countries, for he hath tried the good and the evil among men. He will give his heart to resort early to the Lord that made him, and will pray before the Most High, and will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sins. When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the spirit of understanding. He shall pour out wise sentences and give thanks unto the Lord in his prayer. He shall direct his counsel in knowledge, and in his secrets shall he meditate. He shall shew forth that which he have learned, and shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Lord. You see, man, this thing, hey, it's beautiful. This thing go on and on. But you see where we're going. This is going into standing in the holy place, man. All right. Standing in the holy place. John chapter 15 verse 3. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me. Let's read it again. Salaki. John chapter 15 verse 3. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in a vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. All right, abiding in Yahushua, because Yahushua, he is the word. All right, the testimony of Yahushua, the spirit of prophecy. He is the oracle. He is the ark, the extended. He's on the mercy seat, man. Okay, so we standing in a holy place, man, because we got the testimony of Yahushua. Because the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Yahushua. We abiding in Yahushua. We stand in a holy place. All right. It says, "I am the vine; you are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bring forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men are gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burnt." Right, you're gonna be taken. Right, like it says, like as a whole, as a snare shall come upon all the world. Right, because you wasn't abiding in Yahushua, you wasn't occupied in prophecy. You wasn't occupied in the law of the Most High, sharing them in newness of spirit, having given your mind over and having a meditation thereof, man, of the scriptures, man, of the precepts. You see, it says, "And men gather them and cast them into fire, and they are burnt. If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit, so shall ye be my disciples." All right. "As the Father have loved me, so have I loved you. Continue in my love." So come. All right. So we got to continue to stand in the holy place. That's why Yahushua says, when you see these, to stand ye in a holy place. Let's get Luke 9. So we got to stand in the holy place, man. We got to be watching, man. Praying. You know, praying, fasting, doing what you got to do, man. To make yourself acceptable. Luke chapter 21, verse 31. So likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, right? Because what's the first main prophecy that kick off? Jacob's trouble first main prophecy is going to be the persecution. All right, the persecution of the prophets, the persecution of the saints. Yahweh Shemashah going to send Esau to come in like a flood. They tell you that in Daniel 9. How he spoke about the flood. How he shall call the sacrifice and oblation to cease. That's speaking about Yahweh Shemashah sending Esau pretty much to take the men of the Lord off the street. All right, to snip the web, to cut the web and all that. They're gonna come after this ministry heavy. All right, so it says Luke 21:31. So likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of heaven is nigh your hand. Come, because that's going to be the stuff to kick it off. For judgment must begin at the house of the Lord. Let me get that. First Peter 4:17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Shemashah. The house is the temple. You know, it's not. People might get more specific. Is speaking about this truth. It's not really just generally speaking about Israel. It's really 2/3 people that's not in this truth. That's not even, they're not a part of the house. They're gonna have a portion with the unbelief. They're gonna have that portion with the heathen, the Gentiles. They're like heathens. All Israel are not Israel. All Israelites are not a part of the house of the Most High right now. All right. This is speaking about this truth. This is speaking about this temple. They're gonna roll on this temple, man. Okay. It says, for judgment must begin in the house of the Most High, and if it first begin at us. Why did Apostle Peter say it first begin? Was Apostle Peter speaking about niggas in the world that didn't know what, didn't have nothing to do with Yahushua? No. All right. He was speaking about men in the ministry. All right. You got wicked men in this ministry as well. He's speaking about all of them. He's speaking about the righteous man and the wicked man in the ministry. The people that's not in the ministry, they done. They gonna be like the heathens. They don't know what's going on. The judgment gonna trickle on down to them. They gonna be part of that family of the word when you read about it, Amos 8. All right, that's when, because when you read about Matthew 24, 6 through what Matthew 24, 6 through 10. He's talking about earthquakes and famines and pestilence and commotions and wars and all that. But the end is not yet bound by. And it's like Luke 21 and 12, it said, before all these they shall persecute you. All right. After the persecution, because they're gonna roll this truth. After the persecution, I'm gonna say after the persecution, but when the persecution start, when they start studying the men of the Lord, when the Lord become martyrs and all this, then that's like the Most High done talking. That's when all the prophets was prophesying about the evil, the pestilence, the famines, and destruction and war. That's gonna be rolling. That's gonna be like the aftermath of them coming after this truth. So when that start heating, the judgment that's trickling on down to the people that's not a part of the house, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna be looking for answers, and then that's how the family of the word gonna really come to effect. That's how the family of the word gonna be into effect. You see, so like I said, Israelites that's not in truth, that's outside of this. Look, man, their judgment gonna trickle on down to them. It's gonna trickle on down. It's gonna be like a trickle effect. You see, 1 Peter 4:17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Shem Shai. If it first begin at us, right? Meaning in this truth, in this ministry, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? Why did he say this? So Apostle Peter put a difference. He said it's going to start with the ones in the truth, right? The ones that's in the gospel, right? And the ones that's not, the ones that's outside the house, outside the ministry. You see? And that's why the Lord, with Ezekiel 9:6, talk about DNA begin at the ancient man before the house, because again, this thing gonna start at the truth. Really gonna start with the leaders, man. All right, gonna start. If you a wicked leader in Israel, the Lord gonna come for you. The Lord coming for your head, man. All right, if you a wicked elder, wicked leader, how about Shema Shai will come for you, man? That's when the judgment gonna start coming out. That's when we gonna really know, like who's who. All right. Oh yeah, back in Luke 21. Okay, say Luke 21:32. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that they come upon you unawares. Right, because you're gonna be like like that servant who knew his Lord's will and did not. You're gonna be beat with many stripes, or like how shot John 15:6 or 7, or John 15:5 or verse 5, 6. One of them said, he that abideth not in him is like a withered branch and is cast forth and is burnt. Right? Meaning you're not standing in a holy place, you're not being occupied in how about Shema Shai. You're not being occupied in prophecy. Because the spirit of prophecy is testimony how Shai. Okay? Verse 35, for as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore and pray always. So stand in the holy place. Let's get into it. Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Come. That's exactly what that's going into. And I had another precept to slip my mind. Or these precepts, they be flying. Be slipping my mind though. I know I want to get Isaiah 62 and Luke 12. There's another precept that slipped my mind, man. Man. But let's get Isaiah 62. It's the spirit. Alright. Book of Isaiah chapter 62 verse 1. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest until righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all thy kings thy glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of Yahweh by Hashem Shai name. Jump down verse 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that mention of the Lord, make not silence. Give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. All right? And this is part of what's standing in the holy place. Prophesying. not holding our peace. You know, being in this ministry. You know, being occupied in this prophecy, man. Being a watchman. Because a watchman is looking for stuff to come. You foreseeing things to come. All right. Another word for what? A prophet. You know. Because a prophet not just saying that. And I know a prophet is saying stuff and he's looking. He's watching for what to come. You see. And this was it's all about. This whole book is prophecy. Everything was said from the beginning by the Most High. You know, and it's being brought into fruition through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the fulfiller. He's coming to fulfill prophecy. Okay. So you gotta be burning. You gotta be on fire, watching. Abiding in Yahweh Shai. Abiding in Yahweh Shai. Being in the same state as our Lord, man. Alright, then I'm going to get these parables. I think I'm going to close up, man. Alright, because you got to stand in the holy place. If you ain't standing in the holy place, you through. Alright, I had a precept on my things. Alright, this is Luke chapter 12 in 34. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. All right. So whatever your mind is thinking upon, that's what you laying up. That's what you're doing. Let your loins be girded about, and your light is burning, and ye see yourself like unto men that wait for their Lord, when he will return from the wedding, that when he cometh and knocketh, they may open unto him immediately. Stand in the holy place. Abide in Yahweh Shai. You see? Be that good steward. It says, blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. And he shall come in the second and if he shall come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants. And this know that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not suffered his house to be broken through. Be ye therefore ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. Then Peter said unto him, Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us, or even to all? And the Lord said, Who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over all his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Right, abiding in his Lord's will. Yahweh Shai's will, man. Being occupied in prophecy. All right, stand on go. All right, being on fire. Let your loins be girded about. All right, it said, let your loins be girded about, and your lights burning, man. Let your light so shine before men that they may let your lights so shine. Let's get it, man. I don't want to brush you. Let's get out the phone. Trying to be quick with it. Matthew 5. Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Right? So this is beautiful. All right. Luke chapter 12, verse 43. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. All right. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he have. Right. So if you continue to be abiding in Yahweh Shai, man, it's gonna be a big payout. All right, this is important. This is important to stand in the holy place, to abide in Yahweh Shai, to abide in the testimony of Yahweh Shai, which is the spirit of prophecy, man, and setting the household in order, getting it right. All right, reprove our people, and set the household in order, and sue yourself a man for the man of the year. Roughly saying in 2 Ezra 14, right? Luke 12. Let me read that again. Luke 12 and 44. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he have. Right, you're gonna be a joint heir. All right, you're gonna be one of those men that's part of the house of David, man, sitting on the throne, reigning forever. Right, forever, immortality. It says, but if That servant say in his heart, his mind, my Lord, the day is coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink and to be drunken. The Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. It says, and that servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not, and did commit things worthy of stripes, shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him shall they ask the more. All right, so, man, that's plain, man. All right, either you with this thing or you not with this thing, man. All right, you look one, and Most High gonna get you. All right, you gonna get, because you was playing with the Most High, man. That's why you gotta be on fire in this thing, man. You're gonna be blessed. If you're not, you're gonna get them stripes. So stand in the holy place, man. All right, stand in the holy place. So I'm gonna close out with this, man. Revelation chapter 22, verse 11. Start at verse 10. All right, and he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. All right, stand in your holy. When you see these things, stand in your holy place. When you see these things, for the kingdom of heaven is at nigh at hand. All right, Matthew 24:15, Luke 21 and 32. All right. Revelation 22 verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and so let me read that again. Revelation chapter 22 verse. Let's start from the top. Revelation chapter 22 verse 10. He said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still, and he which is filthy, let him be filthy still, and he that is righteous, let him be righteous still, and he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. All right, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. So with that, giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. All right, Yahweh Shema Shah Barakatem Tadol Falet. And peace, blessed salutation to the house of David, man, the elect. All right, stay strong. All right, we almost home, man. Stay strong. We almost home. Keep fighting, man. Stand in the holy place. Be occupied in these prophecies, man. All right, blessed is that servant whom the Lord shall find so doing, man. So with that, all right, I'm gonna say shalom to the elect. All right, Death to America, DTA, Abba Ball. All right, shalom.